You want to cup the mic? You want to say something?
What is up, guys? I'm Leo and this is my dad Wes. Today he is gonna show you how to scream real good. So shut up and listen so you can be more good than you were before. Meow.
Guys! Just kidding. How's it going today, guys? My name's Wes. I'm a semi-professional metal vocalist, and I make videos on the internet, on Instagram and YouTube mostly, and I play in a band called The Worst of Us. And I get a lot of questions about vocals on the internet and how it all works. And people ask for tips and instructional type videos all the time. So I figured I'd take some time to sort of explain one of these like sort of one take type practice videos that I've been working on. And basically like how these work is I record everything, in one take, and I try to, perform it as the original vocalist would perform it. And try to just, hit every single spot that's realistic and, that I'm not hurting myself at. So I just try to hit everything as if like the original vocalist would perform it live. So I'll go through a little bit of each of them and kind of try to explain how I do them all and, go into as much depth as I can, because I think screaming is like so tough, and simply for the reason that I just don't have the same mouth as you and you don't have the same mouth as me. So it's really hard to explain for everybody, and a lot of times you hear, diaphragm this, diaphragm that. I think that's like really hard for some people to understand because it's not really a muscle you can sort of like autonomously use. So, man, I say so a lot, huh? Anyways, I'm gonna get into this first one, and it's a song called Venemous by Whitechapel. Probably one of their least popular albums, and not so much a popular song off of that album, but I think it's really good practice, especially for the speedy stuff and like trying to get up to speed if you're trying to play live and do like pretty techie deathcore type stuff live. So I'm gonna go through like each sort of section of this and just try to explain the best I can how that works, and I'll do a little demonstration of some of them too, because I'm just trying to be helpful in any way I can, because the fact is this is just going to be an individual journey for each of you trying to do vocals and stuff like that. But sometimes just hearing it explained another way can unlock, things you might not have known before, or you know the thing. All right, here we go. This is Venomous, Whitechapel, in one take.
Hypnotize the serpent's eyes, floor me to the venomous lies. Take me down the path of failure into my imminent demise.
Okay, so that like first lead in, coming in, first scream that comes in, it's sort of like the Phil Bozeman, just like typical mid-low that he kind of does. And I guess the way that I figured this out was I was building, one of my jobs I was building a restaurant. I was walking around with a wheelbarrow all day, and I would walk around and just go all the time when I was, walking around throughout the day, wheeling back and forth to a dumpster. So basically, it's kind of just like a sound, and my tongue is like pretty far forward in my mouth, and my mouth is like fairly small, But another thing that I've seen from watching him do things is his jaw is always forward. The lower part of his jaw is always pushed forward. So like when you're talking, it sounds like this. So it's like,
hypnotize the serpent's eyes, forming to the venomous lay.
like it's like, I don't know if he has an underbite or whatever. I don't think he does. He's probably one of the fucking best looking dudes that does that kind of music in existence. Dude could be like an Abercrombie model. I don't have a crush on him. I'm just saying it's true. It's objective truth. Like, let's just be honest about it. So, yeah, that should help. That helped me a lot. Just like I watched him and he goes, my tongue is like, on the roof of my mouth.
Hypnotize.
Anyways, next section.
Ice is flowing through his veins, and his touch gives me a frozen night. In his eyes you can see hypocrisy, and a touch of screen convinces me that I get what I need, so I place the seed. Immediately I feel invincibility, but it can't be real, and it doesn't make sense, and I can feel so incomplete.
So that's the first kind of speedy part that he does. He does that in a lot of songs. I will say I have pretty good like breath capacity just from practicing so much. And this is one of the hardest ones to do all in one go. And I'm pretty sure it's edited up a little bit towards about the last sentence there. Invincibility is, I think, the part where it gets, cut up to make it seem like, there's no breath, but there's certainly a breath. So I guess what I can say about that is it's the same kind of, it's that same kind of scream, I guess. But what you want to do here is like really not expend too much breath per word and like use the lowest amount of stress you can to like in other words, push the least amount and use the least amount of air that you can to get each word out and get the right compression. Like as long as you're like going, like I could go and get, like that's me using a lot of like force, I guess, and air and compression, but I can get the same thing by just going, you know what I mean? And like I'm less like, so I would say when I did this, I was trying to just like, keep my body calm, because the more you move, the more oxygen you use. Science fact. I'm something of a scientist myself. So, yeah, I would just say, like, try to be as, like, relaxed as you can if you're going to go for this. And one thing about screaming, I think that you hear a lot, especially if you're talking to your friends that don't listen to heavy music, they'll tell you, oh, I can't understand the words. And if you want to, like, stand out, if you want to be a special vocalist, you want to enunciate the best that you can. So the words here are, in his eyes I can see the hypocrisy, in his noxious grin convinces me that I'll get what I need, so I plant the seed, and immediately I feel invincibility. But it can't be real, and it doesn't make sense that I could feel so incomplete. So when I started learning this, I did that without screaming. So in his eyes I can see the hypocrisy, and his noxious grin convinces me that I'll get what I need, so he plants the seed, and immediately I feel invincibility. That's full speed. And that's not like too crazy fast. Like I'm not a rapper. And like you don't need to be crazy, good at going fast to be able to do this. But what I have seen people do, I happen to only have a toothbrush nearby at this time, but a lot of people put a pen in their teeth and go for just enunciating as clearly as they can. Like, anytime I can see hypocrisy in his noxious grin convinces me that I'll get what I need, so I plant the seed, and immediately I feel invincibility. And that helps people a lot. I've heard of a lot of rappers doing that. But yeah, that's my cat, sorry. But I've heard of a lot of rappers doing that to get better enunciation going. And it has helped me a little bit in the past. But I would just say, like, try above everything before you're going into the screaming. Just make sure you're enunciating really hard, because people love that. I love that when I can hear what they're saying and they have a badass scream sound. And dude, it's just sick. It's sick. We all love that. Everybody loved that. So yeah, next section.
What have you done? I can't move, but I feel like I am free. There's blood everywhere. I'm losing my mind. Distance in me. There's freedom.
All right, so I made a few like lyrical mistakes here. Not that it matters for the purpose of this. Edit out that F word.
Watch your profanity.
But there is a slightly different scream here. If it was his normal scream, it would be,
there's freedom.
but it's there's a little more breath added to it, so it's a slightly different version. It's very close, but it's slightly different, and it gives you a different sound. I just put a little more breath behind each word, like so it comes out as
there's freedom
instead of
there's freedom. There's freedom. There's freedom.
And it's not that different, but it's a little sort of extra technique you can use to make a seemingly average normal scream a little bit more special. I like the sound of it. I think it sounds a little more like sort of visceral and disgusting in a good way.
Flowing through my veins, consumes my soul, but it takes away the pain. Emotions are true, and words are fake. I've been paralyzed by this venomous state. Yes, flowing through my veins, consumes my soul, but I'm still wrapped in chains. Emotions are true, the words are fake. I've been paralyzed by this venomous snake.
So between these sections here, you want to make sure you're getting real deep breaths. And contrary to popular belief, the gasp breath is never the move. I learned this in like 7th and 8th grade chorus. When you breathe, you want your stomach to expand because most of your lungs are like closer to, the bottom part of your torso. So when you breathe, your stomach should be expanding out this way. Like, you can't really see it, but here's my baby. And when you shouldn't be breathing with your shoulders like, you should be breathing with your stomach like, and that will give you the maximum use of your air. And every time you get a chance, just into your stomach. So it'd be like,
this venom flowing through my veins consumes my soul, but it's still wrapped in chains. Emotions are true, the words are fake. I've been paralyzed by this venomous snake.
And even before this next part coming in, you want to get make sure your stomach is, fully expanding for that big rap part.
In his eyes you can see hypocrisy. It's not just great convinces me that I get what I need, so he plants the seed. Immediately I feel invincibility, but it can't be real and it doesn't make sense, and I can feel so incomplete.
I messed up a bunch of words, but it's important to have fun anyways. So that's the end of this clip here, but that last part there, again, it's, trying to get that.
In his eyes I can see the hypocrisy, and it's not just great convinces me that I'll get what I need, so he plants the seed.
You want to make sure, you're like, ka, 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 ka. Those consonants at the end of each word, and at the beginning of some of them, should be really crisp, and you want them to be nice. And that just goes with, practicing it without distortion and just trying to speak it out. I really think that helps, and it might feel like boring, and you're like, oh, but I want to scream. I know, but you got to take baby steps. You got to crawl before you can run. You know what I mean? So I think the most important things to take out of this lesson here is slow down the fast shit, slow down the things that are fast, make them simpler, and then build up the speed. And that's the same way it goes for guitar, any other instrument you're trying to play. Screaming is its own little instrument, and you kind of gotta you just have to slow it down sometimes. You want to make sure you're breathing in these types of tough deathcore songs. You want to make sure you're getting that quick stomach breath to get into your maximum lung capacity. You want to make sure you're using all the oxygen you possibly can. You want to make sure you're replenishing that as much as you can. And one other tip that to summarize all this is try that jaw unlocking thing, because it's worked for me. It's like one of the things that's really helped me unlock some crazy low sounds is just like pushing my lower jaw forward like I have an underbite, and it's got me some crazy sounds. And just because we're fun here, we have a good time, I'll show you some other low kind of stuff that I get out of that sound, and that's just from been watching Phil Bozeman and seeing him live and see what he does with his face, because I was a psycho and I studied that stuff because, you know, I really wanted to sound like that. Hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for checking this video out. I hope it helped you. Leave a comment and tell me what your favorite fruit is. Mine is mine's a banana, and this banana's seen better days. But I'm gonna eat it anyways, because I don't waste mother frickin' bananas. Have a good day. I'll catch you next time. Peace.